You've felt it before, that cold twist in your stomach, that whisper in your gut when her phone lights up at midnight and she flips it over without a word. She tells you it's just a friend. But your instincts don't lie. They don't explain, they warn. You tell yourself you're overthinking, that it's insecurity, that the problem must be you. But deep down, a voice you've tried to ignore keeps whispering, something is off. This is how betrayal begins. Not with another man, not with a kiss or a lie. It starts long before that, with a pattern. A pattern most men see, but few dare to acknowledge. And the truth is brutal. Some women were never made for loyalty. Some don't value commitment because they're addicted to the thrill of its destruction. Psychologists call it the thrill seeker's paradox. The same fire that draws them to you is the one that will burn everything down. Some women crave novelty like a drug. You become their latest fix until the high wears off. Then they vanish. Today you're going to learn the 8 types of women most likely to cheat. Not to hate them, but to recognize the red flags before they dismantle your peace, your self-worth, and your future. Because cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in the mind. In the patterns of behavior you dismiss as quirks. It starts with the way she talks about her ex, the way she keeps her phone locked like a vault, the way she constantly needs attention from everywhere except you. You've seen the signs, now it's time to stop ignoring them. Let's begin with the first, the wild child. She's exciting, magnetic. She lives for chaos. With her, life feels like a movie. Spontaneous road trips, dancing in the rain, laughing until it hurts. But excitement has a cost. Because what makes her intoxicating is also what makes her dangerous. She's addicted to stimulation, to drama, to breaking rules, including yours. Psychologists have proven that people with high impulsivity and novelty-seeking tendencies have a direct correlation with infidelity. It's not opinion, it's data. She'll say she hates boring men. Translation, she can't stand stability. And when the adrenaline fades, she's gone. Not because you failed, but because her threshold for contentment is broken. She's the kind who flirts just for fun, who still texts her ex because they're friends. She creates confusion and thrives in it. One day she's hot, the next day she's ice cold. And when you call it out, she flips the script. You're controlling. You're insecure. But what she's really saying is, you're starting to figure me out. This isn't about you. It's about a woman who mistakes chaos for passion and rebellion for personality. She cheats not because you lack something, but because routine feels like death. You can't fix this with flowers. You can't love her out of it. If she lives for the rush, you're not her partner. You're her temporary thrill. And when that thrill dies, so does her loyalty. Then there's the dominator, the woman who commands a room with her presence. She doesn't just walk, she conquers. Men orbit her, and she loves it. She'll tell you she doesn't need a man, but deep down she craves one she can conquer. Her attraction isn't romantic, it's strategic. She doesn't chase love. She chases dominance. If you let her lead, if you bow to her charm, she'll lose all respect for you. She doesn't want an equal. She wants control. Every compliment, every touch, every kiss becomes part of a silent negotiation. You give her power, and she loses interest. You stand your ground, and she escalates the war. She'll withhold affection to manipulate, flirt with others to test you, and when you react, she'll smile and call you sensitive. That isn't love. That's psychological warfare. Studies on narcissistic personality traits confirm this. People who thrive on dominance often equate cheating not with betrayal, but with power. It's how they assert superiority. To her, loyalty isn't sacred. It's leverage. And when she cheats, it won't be out of passion. It'll be calculated. A statement. proof that she still has options, that she's still the one in control. When she returns to your bed, she won't carry guilt. She'll carry confirmation that even when she steps out, you'll still be there, waiting, hoping. She'll dictate what you wear, mock your decisions, challenge your values, and call it strength. But strength that shames is not power. It's domination. You cannot out-love a woman like this. You cannot win her by pleasing her. The more you seek her validation, the faster she erases her attraction. To survive her games, you need discipline, calm detachment, boundaries that don't bend just because she's beautiful. When she plays control, you walk away, because the moment you trade your authority for her affection, you've already lost both. And when she meets a man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't bow, that's the man she cheats with, because he represents the one thing she can't dominate. And to her, that's irresistible. Then comes the repeater, the woman who's done it before, and swears she'll never do it again. She looks you in the eye, says she's changed, says it was a mistake. And because men believe in redemption, you want to trust her. You want to believe that love can rewrite the past. But facts don't lie. If she's cheated before, she's already crossed a line most people won't even approach. And once you cross it once, the guilt fades every time. Psychologists call this moral desensitization. The more you justify a betrayal, the easier it becomes to do it again. A liar lies again. A cheater cheats again. Not always out of desire, but out of habit. Watch how she talks about her past. Does she take ownership, or does she blame everyone else? I was young. I wasn't happy. He ignored me. These aren't apologies. They're warnings. What she's really saying is, I'll do it again when the conditions are right. If she grew up in a household where betrayal was common, where parents cheated, where lies were normal, then infidelity isn't wrong to her. It's familiar. It's even expected. Studies show that those raised around unfaithfulness are twice as likely to repeat it. Why? Because they never learned to value commitment. They saw it as optional, a game, a phase. You'll notice these women are master performers. They know how to cry, how to beg, how to promise. But what they're really doing is manipulating your forgiveness. They don't cheat because something's missing. They cheat because they enjoy the power of getting away with it, of lying with a straight face, of playing innocent while burying the blade in your back. And when you forgive her, she doesn't feel remorse. She feels empowered, because now she knows she can do it again. And you'll take her back, not because you're weak, but because you loved someone who never truly existed. She wore the mask of regret, but underneath was the same appetite for control. She doesn't cheat because she lacks love. She cheats because deception makes her feel powerful. It's not about intimacy. It's about control. The rush of sneaking around, deleting texts, rehearsing lies until they sound like truth. It's not passion. It's precision. And the more she hides, the more she enjoys it. But the most dangerous part? She's learned how to make you question your own sanity. She's mastered the art of manipulation, and if you don't recognize it early, it will erode everything inside you. Then there's the double life woman. She doesn't scream. She doesn't argue. She doesn't even raise suspicion. That's what makes her lethal. She cheats with structure, with a calendar, with a locked phone, and a carefully curated Instagram. She's always busy, always traveling, always just with the girls. But you're not paranoid. You're picking up the pieces of a puzzle that was never meant to be solved. When she's with you, she's attentive, affectionate, even loving. But the second she leaves your sight, it's like she vanishes into another dimension. That's not a coincidence. It's a system. Modern psychology calls it compartmentalization, the ability to live multiple lives in perfect isolation. One version of her loves you, Another is texting someone else under a different name. Each reality sealed off, with no overlap. She's organized, strategic, and deliberate. This isn't an accident. It's a lifestyle. She knows how to talk like she's committed while acting like she's single. And when you confront her, she'll make you feel guilty for even asking. You don't trust her? You're too possessive. You're insecure. But deep down, you know the truth. People don't hide what they're proud of. They hide what they fear you'll find. She'll use charm like a weapon. And if charm fails, she'll use guilt. You're just jealous. Can't I have friends? But everything she says is calculated. Every deleted message, every do not disturb setting, every secret meetup with a man she swears is just a colleague. It's not coincidence, it's choreography. According to relationship research, emotional secrecy, hiding passwords, friends, communications, has the highest correlation with future infidelity. Why? Because secrecy isn't protection, it's preparation. She's not securing your relationship, she's securing her exit strategy. This woman doesn't always cheat for sex. Sometimes she cheats for validation. The thrill of being wanted by two men. One gives her stability. The other gives her excitement. And together, they make her feel whole. She won't admit it, of course. Honesty would ruin the performance. She'll let you believe she's the perfect girlfriend while maintaining an entire hidden life behind your back. You'll feel it in your bones. The distance, the avoidance, the rehearsed explanations. And if you dare to speak up, she'll flip the script until you're the one apologizing. She doesn't need proof to lie. She just needs practice. And what you thought was love? It was a mask, a character. She knew what you wanted to see, and she played it flawlessly. But when that mask slips, when you finally see what's behind the curtain, it won't just shatter your relationship. It will shatter your idea of trust, of reality. Because betrayal isn't just pain, it's disorientation. It's realizing that someone you let into your heart was wearing a costume the entire time. Then there's the commitment phobe, the woman who says all the right things, who stares into your eyes and talks about forever, but disappears the moment things start feeling real. At first, she's magnetic, curious, passionate. She mirrors your energy, makes you feel like you've found your soulmate. But it's not you she loves. It's the attention, the chase, the dopamine rush of being desired. And once she's certain she has you, that magic dies. Because what she was addicted to wasn't connection. It was conquest. Psychologists call this the avoidant attachment style. Women who long for closeness, but run from intimacy. The moment you show consistency, she pulls away. Your love doesn't comfort her, it suffocates her. She starts sabotaging the relationship, picking fights, questioning your compatibility, withdrawing emotionally, because to her, closeness equals vulnerability, and vulnerability equals weakness. So she creates distance, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And once there's enough space, she begins the hunt for a new rush. Not because you failed her, but because she never came to be loved. She came to be seen, to be admired, to feel alive in the attention you gave her. The moment she's asked to give something real in return, she ghosts, quietly, efficiently, without closure. She doesn't end things. She fades, stops responding, dodges questions. And when she's gone, all you're left with is confusion and self-doubt. But the truth? You were never the problem. She was never ready. You'll spot her early if you pay attention. She's the one who says she's not looking for anything serious, but keeps dating you for months. She keeps her dating apps just to talk. She avoids planning anything past next week. And the second you say something deeper, something real, She disappears like a ghost with perfect timing. Ending things directly would mean taking responsibility. And responsibility is something she's spent her whole life running from. Evolutionary psychology even backs this up. People who chase novelty over stability are neurologically wired to avoid long-term pair bonding. In simple terms, she's built to pursue, not preserve, to ignite, not to nurture. And that's why you can't win her with love. You can't anchor someone who sees commitment as a trap. And the more you try to prove your worth to her, the more you feed her ego, not her heart. She doesn't need therapy. She needs consequences. She needs a man strong enough to walk away when she plays confused. Because when she meets a man who doesn't want her, suddenly she's ready. Suddenly she's changed. But by then, it's too late for both of you. Now we arrive at one of the most dangerous types, the manipulator. She's not chaotic like the wild child. She's not powerful like the dominator. She's calculated, composed. She knows exactly who she is and what she's doing. She doesn't seduce. She studies. Your fears, your patterns, your insecurities. She learns them like a script, then feeds you the illusion of safety until you let your guard down. She doesn't yell. She doesn't beg. She performs. Every apology, every tear, every silence is part of her choreography. Her weapon of choice isn't sex, it's sympathy. She'll make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, ashamed for having standards. She'll turn your own love against you, make you doubt your instincts. Gaslighting is her art, convincing you that what you saw, what you heard, what you felt wasn't real. She'll twist the truth until you question your own memory. And just when you're about to walk away, she'll flip the switch. Suddenly, she's affectionate, vulnerable. I'm working on myself. But she's not. She's working on you. And once she's drained you, once she's taken your confidence, your patience, your forgiveness, she leaves. But she won't stay gone. Because manipulators always return. Not because they love you, but because they hate losing control. The moment they sense you've healed, they show up with a smile, a memory, a promise. And if you fall for it again, the cycle repeats. Because a manipulative woman doesn't crave affection, she craves worship. And once you stop kneeling, she stops pretending. Now let's talk about the most overlooked type, the avoider. She never argues, she doesn't shout, doesn't cry, doesn't explode. She simply vanishes. Emotionally, mentally, and eventually physically. When conflict arises, she goes silent. When you express your needs, she changes the subject. When you ask a direct question, she dodges with humor or charm. You think she's calm, but what you're really seeing is detachment. She's not handling things maturely. She's avoiding them entirely. The avoider isn't faithful because she loves you. She's faithful because she's indifferent. She doesn't cheat out of lust. She cheats out of emotional distance, because in her world, closeness is a threat. Vulnerability is danger. Connection is weakness. So she stays on the surface, polite, pleasant, unbothered, but just deep enough to keep you hooked, not deep enough to ever be exposed. And in that surface-level comfort, she builds her second life. She lives behind the phrase, "I just need space." But that space, it's where her secrets grow. She's the woman who'll sit across from you at dinner, smiling, laughing, texting another man under the table without a flicker of guilt. Because she's convinced herself that emotional detachment is safety. That if she never gets too close, she can never get hurt. But the truth is, she's hurting you. Slowly, silently, without remorse. She's mastered the art of half connection, just enough to keep you invested, never enough to make you feel secure. This mindset doesn't come from nowhere. It's rooted in avoidant attachment, a psychological framework developed in childhood. People who associate closeness with pain, love with loss, trust with abandonment, So they grow up building walls disguised as independence. They crave connection, but run from intimacy the moment it feels real. That's why she flirts with others while claiming you're the only one. Why she keeps you around but never commits. Why she disappears for days and returns like nothing happened. She's not being mysterious, she's being unavailable by design. And here's the truth that will crush most men who fall for women like her. You will never be enough. Not because you're lacking, but because no one will ever be enough for someone who keeps running from themselves. You can pour your love into her until you're empty. You can be patient, understanding, devoted, but she will only take what she can control. And the moment she senses you want more depth, commitment, honesty, she'll vanish again. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. She'll shut down, change the subject, call you needy. She'll protect her bubble at the cost of your sanity. You'll question everything. Did I come on too strong? Was I too emotional? Too honest? But the truth is, you just wanted something real. And she was never built for real. She was built for escape, for surface-level admiration, for temporary connection that demands nothing of her. And in that illusion, she thrives. Until one day you stop playing, you stop chasing, you stop apologizing for wanting more. And that's when her silence becomes obvious. Not calm, empty. So now you know them. The wild child, the dominator, the repeater, the double lifer, the commitment phobe, the manipulator, the avoider, each one dangerous in her own way. Each one capable of wrecking a man not just emotionally, but spiritually. Because betrayal doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your identity. It robs you of the version of yourself that believed, that hoped, that loved without hesitation. And when that trust is destroyed, it doesn't grow back the same. It grows back cautious, hardened, less willing to risk again. You want to know why betrayal cuts so deep? Because it doesn't just steal a person, it steals a future. A vision you built together in your head, a story you told yourself. And when that story burns, it scorches your ability to dream again. That's why the strongest men aren't the ones who tolerate betrayal. They're the ones who learn from it, who don't ignore the patterns, who don't excuse the red flags, who don't fall for the mask twice. You can't fix these women. You can't love them into healing. You can't build loyalty on a blueprint of betrayal. If a woman sees commitment as a cage, she will never stay. If she uses your trust as leverage, she will always break it. And if you keep giving chances to someone who sees mercy as weakness, you're not being kind, you're being complicit. The world of modern dating has become a battleground, not of men versus women, but of illusion versus reality. And most men are losing because they refuse to see what's right in front of them. You've met at least one of these women. Maybe you're with one now. Maybe you still believe she'll change. But let me ask you, how many warnings have you ignored? How many nights have you stayed awake wondering where she really was? How many times have you forgiven something that didn't deserve forgiveness? Because every time you justify betrayal, you lose a piece of yourself. And the more you tolerate it, the more you teach her, and everyone watching, that your love has no boundaries. That ends now. You want to take your power back? Stop chasing chaos. Stop confusing drama for passion. Stop mistaking attention for affection. Learn to recognize manipulation even when it's dressed as vulnerability. Learn to walk away, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to protect your peace. You are not a rehab center for broken loyalty. You are not a stage for performance love. You are not here to be used, tested, or tolerated. You are here to lead with strength, to love with clarity, and to never again settle for less than truth. So when you see the wild child pulling you into her chaos, walk. When the dominator challenges your masculinity, stand firm. When the repeater cries and says she's changed, remember the pattern. When the double lifer gaslights you, believe your instincts. When the commitment phobe runs, don't chase. When the manipulator returns, don't open the door. And when the avoider goes silent, hear the truth in her silence. Because every moment you waste on the wrong woman is a moment stolen from the right one. And the right one will never require you to betray yourself just to keep her. You want real love? Then become the kind of man who demands it, who embodies it, who doesn't tolerate anything less. Because when you raise your standards, you raise your life. You teach the world how to treat you. And when enough men stop accepting emotional chaos disguised as romance, we reclaim not just our strength, but our peace. So the next time her phone lights up at midnight and she flips it face down, remember this message. It starts small, but it ends with you shattered if you let it. Not all women cheat, but the ones who do. They follow patterns, and now you've seen them. Now you know. The question is, will you act? Because the strongest man isn't the one who wins her back. It's the one who never lets her break him in the first place.